Hi, this is Fran, and I want to show you how you can use your stamps and dies to make some beautiful paper jewelry that is very durable, beautiful, sparkly, and quite inexpensive to make. Next, I'm going to use my black ink, take my stamp and make a nice clean impression, one of the hydrangea and one of the butterfly, to make my layers. And then do your coloring, whether you want to use color pencils or markers, whatever you like. Color in all the way around in whatever color scheme you like. And then I'm going to take the wafer cutting die, and it's going to line up exactly so that I can cut out that beautiful colored layer. Once I've cut out my layers, I now want to seal them using my Versamark ink and give it a coating of either your clear embossing powder or your crystal, and that is going to seal the surface and make it much more durable. So an embossed layer of crystal or clear for a seal. Your dies will cut through thin chipboard, and so I made one of the hydrangea in the paper and 3 chipboard, and then for the butterfly I did 1 color and 2 chipboard to build up the 3-dimensional layers that you can see on this one. I want to show you how I made a simple wire loop here that will give me jump rings at 2 points to attach my cording, and I wanted it to be secure, so I made a little jump ring at each end of a curved wire. So to do that, cut a piece that's about 5 or 6 inches long so that you have some extra wire to work with. Decide what size jump ring, and we'll find a tool here like my paintbrush. And now I'm simply going to twist it, and that's going to give me a nice round little jump ring at one end, and allowing for a bit of curve through the middle. I will repeat that on the other side so that I can put a little piece of tape to hold it in place. I want them to come right up to the top of that shape. And then when I glue 2 layers together, by putting the tape in the middle, I will put glue, like a white glue, I've got Elmer's here, and gluing all the way around. I'm just going to hold it together until all of those edges will dry and hold my little jump rings right up to the top edge like that. For the 3rd chipboard piece, you want to seal it in some way on the back, and on this one I used silver embossing powder, and that gives it a pretty durable finish. And one thing that you want to check is, and here's a little group of the different layers here that I've started to glue together. If you're going to cut your flowers from this side, you want to be sure that what you do for the back layer is embossed on the side that is in reverse. And so this way that will seal and be that final back layer. So on this one I used, let's see, aged silver, which gives me a nice little bit of variation. This one was aged black, and that's kind of fun. And this one was cut out of some glitter paper. So again, if you want to die cut a backing out of a printed paper or a glitter paper, you want to be sure that you line up your die in such a way that it will cut it going the right direction. And so if you stack it up like this and turn it over, that's one way to test that you're cutting it properly to get a nice sparkly blue backing. And then I'm going to simply use my glue between all of the layers, and if you want to line them up, you can kind of feel on the edges whether it's lining up or not. Then you can glue between all the layers and hold them together and keep securing it at all of the edges so that it dries completely. My attempts to use a clamp on it actually made markings, which was not good. I don't know if you can see there. So anyway, just holding it with your fingers and pressing it evenly will probably give you the best option to glue all of the layers together. Once you've secured all of the layers, you may want to do a little bit of sanding perhaps to even off some of the little edges, but line it up as best you can. And then if you wanted to use a metallic marker, that would be one way that you could do all of the edges. Actually, you would want to do that on your butterfly before you glued your butterfly layers to your flower layer. That will be easier to get all the way around with a metallic marker, or you could do some more embossing on the edge if you wanted. The little jump rings here at the top now give me a real easy way to take any number of different kinds of ribbon or cording, and on this one I looped it through and created a nice knot right down close to the jump ring. And you can make it as long as you want, and there's a number of different ways that you could secure it at the back. But I think what works the best is what I did on this one. I had some lightweight black cording and was even able to add some decorative beads, and I tied a knot that put them down close so that they stay in place down here right on the edge. And you can color coordinate your beads, and then making it long enough so that you can create a loop. Here I've actually just doing knots. I've added a big button for my toggle, so to speak, at the top. And now on this side I've created a loop big enough to go over my button, and that will make sure that my necklace is secure and kind of a decorative element at the back as well. So there you can see one option of a finished one, and we'll show you a few more. The techniques that I've shown you in this video using the Build-A-Bouquet flowers, of course, can also be used for many other pins or necklaces or Christmas ornaments for that matter. So take a look at what stamps and dies you have that will make this process easy. And now you've learned all the different ways of putting it together. And besides jewelry necklaces, you might also use your pin backings of different kinds for little pins and have lots of fun making paper jewelry with Stampendous impressions every time.